Hi, I'm Lenkinski.
I'm Gilad, Jerusalmy.
So, why did you start dancing?
I started dancing. I think I moved and I loved moving all my life since I was a child. But I studied only theater since I was really young. And actually when I was 11 or 12, I wanted to start dancing, belly dancing. And I went to this center in Tel Aviv where I grew up. And they didn't let me dance because I was a boy. And so I gave up. And I think this dream just stayed with me. And once I got released, I was 22, released from the IDF military service, I decided I'm like treating myself with 1 year of dancing and moving and kind of fulfilling this dream. And it became addictive, and I just got swallowed into it. And then, and since then I'm dancing. So yeah, I think now today I have to dance. Like today I'm an addict. So like I can't differently, I think.
And how old are you today?
I'm 31.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it impacted your career that you got, I guess, like a late start or a
Yeah, definitely did. Like, I don't know if to say if, for the positive or the negative, but yeah, I started like I was older in a few years than all the students who were with me in the dance program, and with no background. So obviously I was this underdog, and I had to work extra hard and staying into the nights and you know, working on my splits and and my muscles and everything, and just remembering counts. Like this was the worst thing for me. And yeah, but it also made me so dedicated, and I think it's a test of motivation. Like how hard are you willing to work to get there? So I think in many ways also this motivation and being dedicated to the thing also gave me a good start, like a good shooting start. And somehow I feel in the Israeli dancing, I can say, that men that started a bit later, I think I did it like in the right years, because when I started to dance professionally already on stages, there was this buzz, I think, like this untalked buzz about men who are a bit rough around the edges, and it's a bit like this macho sex appeal, and there were suddenly, like the year I started to dance was full of men walks. So somehow it went well for me in this way.
And then how long after this beginning of your professional career did you start to make your own work?
My first work for professionally stage, because I always created small stuff, videos for the media. When I was a student, I created things for unofficial showings. But the first official show that I did, which is Earth Female, that's the name of the work, was 2017. So it was 2 years after I started to dance professionally on stage. Yeah.
And what made you want to make your own work for stage?
Oh, I think two main reasons. One would be that I'm a freelancer, and I was always a freelancer. And I got to a situation that I had 6 different bosses, 6 different choreographers, and I would juggle from one studio to the other. This one wants me to move soft, this one wants me to move hard, this one is that. And it was a moment that I felt like I need a period of time that I'm my own boss, especially artistically. Like, what do I want to do? How do I want to move? What do I want to search? In addition to working with choreographers, which I always love and I still do. So this was like one thing, like I need to make my own space. And the second, I guess, major thing that makes me create till today is that I feel like my body is the most genuine and honest way for me to communicate with the world. Like even now when we're talking, and I can talk and talk and talk, and I believe in what I say, but I feel like words, they can travel so many directions, and then you can just, as I do now, yeah. And when I communicate, when I speak with my body, with my performance, I feel it's the purest version of me and the most honest. So I can't give up on it now. No.
What are the questions you're asking, the themes that are coming up, the issues that you're dealing with in your work?
I think It's always very, very personal, first of all, the things I would deal with. So I guess I would create about or around the things that I'm dealing with at that moment, at that year. But my aim, and I hope sometimes I maybe succeed, is to, like, I believe that if I go completely personal, completely exposed, going to the core of the subject, then it becomes global or something that people internationally can relate to, like it becomes a human experience. So the first work I did was around my questions of gender. I think until that work, I didn't fully knew I'm a man. And since then, I know I'm a man.
And this was Earth Female?
This was Earth Female, yeah. It's around Jewish pioneers, Zionism. It has a lot of criticism about how we treat the earth, how the Zionists treated women. But at the end of the day, it's two men trying to be 100% male, or whatever the male stereotype is. Then my second work was a duet with my mother, Jerusalmy, she's an artist and a therapist. And I think it was my quest of independence and kind of being 28 at the time and stop breastfeeding metaphorically. Yeah, she didn't give me milk at that time already. But yeah, to find my independence and to understand how am I separated from my parents, who am I in comparing to them, seeing them as human. Then another work was about childhood and my first sexual experiences as a gay man, but again, it wasn't about gayness, it was about this thing of first experiences, first sexual experiences, and how they design our intimacy today. And now I'm, yeah.
So now?
Yeah, so now. So now I'm premiering here in Mahol Shalem my solo work. It's called Penetration. It's going to be a dance film because of these ages of filming and Corona style. So it's going to be a solo work, a dance film, and I think the name kind of says what I'm dealing with, penetration. I think, again, penetration throws us immediately to the sexual aspects of it, but I'm trying to deal with penetration in all the ways that I deal with it in my life. Penetration to the heart, to the mind, to the anus, to the body, to the soul. Using this also as something that is very felt in Israel, in Palestine, penetration to a territory. And again, I'm going back to this machoistic male figure. I'm using this time a Magavnik officer, like a border officer. Border control, which are the ones who are usually in communication with Palestinians, standing in the borders, going into the villages, doing the arrests. Nowadays, we're in the time of protests in Israel, so also these will be the officers that will be in the protests, many times will beat us up. So I'm taking this male macho figure that we all love to hate so much, and I'm trying to see how can I also penetrate him, or what maybe this figure can gain from penetration. Yes, again, I won't say details, but all the joy and pain and fear and pleasure that can happen in a penetration.
How would you describe your aesthetic as an artist? I know that's a big question, but if you had to use a few words.
Minimalistic, I think. As a creator, as a performer, I'm all over the place.
Okay.
But as a choreographer, minimalistic. Harsh, like this was a small example, but I like to go to boundaries and extremities. Sweaty, it's always very, very sweaty and wet, and you need to mop the stage at the end of the show. And I'm using it because it's what my body does, and it's part of me and part of my movement already. And I can also say like what I wish it would be, and I guess, I don't know, each viewer would see it differently, but my aim is that it will be simple, like in the way that you can take it to yourself, and genuine, which is a huge word, but that's my goal, one of my goals. Yeah.
So the piece was meant to be a live work, and now it's going to be a dance film.
Yeah.
Why did you make that decision?
Because I saw like where the dance world, at least in Israel, is going now, and everything is going online. And obviously it's like, I love it, like that choreographers and dancers in Israel, we don't stop, and we do, and we create, and we use what we can in these times of Corona. But I felt like because my works are very repetitive, and there's something very live about them, like I feel like I want people to see them at the moment, to see my veins, to see the sweat. I felt like just recording it and streaming it will, like, I don't know if I would enjoy watching it as a viewer. So I decided that if it's going to be already online, I want to use it, to use the platform and to make it a dance film, something that you can relate to through the screen. I mean, it's a chance and the risk that I'm taking because it's not completely my field. I'm working with a cameraman now and an editor, and I'm trying to really use this platform to kind of also, you know, lift this work, but also knowing that it's going to change and become something else, even just in the matter that it's a solo, but now there's going to be a cameraman with me, and I can't ignore it, and the camera is going to be my partner. So yeah, I'm excited to see like where it goes.